going to start.
Venom on my tongue, depending at times. Poisonous vibrations. Help my body run. I'm running for my life. Running for my life. Sipping on straight glory. Let the vibe slide over me.
Stand out with custom gear from Dab Marketing. No design fees, no minimum orders. Just premium sublimated shirts built for the service industry. Look professional, look sharp. Get your gear from Dab.
Hello, happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Anthony here with Trudy. Our guest tonight is Chris from down out in Texas at Freedom Wash Supply. First of all, we're going to get into some announcements. We've got the SEED event coming up in October the 8th and 11th. That's down in Orlando. And then we're going to move on into November the 3rd through the 5th, which is the Panhandle Expo at Edgewater Beach and Golf Resort in Panama City Beach, Florida. I encourage everybody to get over to that website, www.panhandleexpo.com. Get registered for that event. I think we've had probably about 300 registered already. So go ahead, get in there, get registered for that event. We have some special classes that's going on November the 3rd. The first one we got our lovely sister Alana Martinez. She's going to do an AI class, which is $199, but you can get in there for $150. Promo code Early Bird Special for the first 10 people. That's going to be a very interesting class. I know a lot of people are scared of this AI venture that's coming out. Don't know what it's about or anything, but I'm sure she's going to ease your mind and your spirits in that area and move your business on to the next level. And later on that evening, we're going to have Mr. Jeffrey Blackman himself and myself. We're going to be doing a parking lot striping class. That is a $399 class. You get a book with it. You pay $399, you get this book. It tells you everything about striping. If you go to Texas and you take this class at his office out in Texas, it's $1,500 is what he gets per person to teach this class. He's coming in to Panama City Beach with us to teach this class, to give a big discount on it. And you get that book. The book's $45. It's included in with your $399, so that puts you at $354. The first 10 get $50 off, so that puts you at $304. So $300, you're in for a $1,500 class, which we're going to do a classroom setting, and we're going to go outside and you're going to put hands on the machine. We will not be spraying paint on these people's parking lot because we don't want to have to paint the whole parking lot for them. So, but we will be spraying water. You will run the machine and all that stuff. So we look forward to that. One big announcement here through the Panhandle event. We got the VIP special for $100. That includes you get 3 meals, and that meal there is $199 for them 3 meals. So you're getting in for $100 VIP. I'm sure you're gonna get a swag bag. It's gonna have goodies in it, everything like that. So you'll be probably special seating. Ain't no telling what all they got lined up in that for you. So get over there, get registered for the event, and get registered to be a VIP guest at the Panhandle. But right now, the man of the hour himself, Chris from Freedom Wash out in Texas. Man, woo, good to have you on here, man. Met you last year at the Panhandle, the first time I think we ever met. And awesome dude. He's going to tell us what's going on out in the great state of Texas. I'm sure it's hot out there just like it is everywhere else.
Definitely.
And, he's going to give us a little bit about his background, how he got in the industry, what led him into the industry, and how he come to open up on Freedom Wash. and all that good stuff. And then we're going to get into the class he's going to be teaching. So, Chris, take it away, man.
Hey, thank you, Anthony, and thank you, Trudy. It's good to be here. We're getting ramped up for the expo this year, and it's great to be on here. For those that don't know me, as Anthony mentioned, I'll give a little background. I got into the industry about, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago. So fairly new compared to some people, but we all started somewhere. We were cleaning and washing here in Houston, and I just found that as we like to keep things prepared, and as many people keep things around, so that we have them backed up for us. We were bringing in things from all over the country for our own use, and found that we just didn't have anybody around that could keep in the supplies that we needed to run our business every day. And just like I hear a lot of other supply shops start out, it's mainly self-serving, is to make sure you have the supplies for your business, and then people kind of recognize around that you have a stockpile of things, and they start showing up and, hey, can I get a little of this off of you? Can you have some extra hose? Do you have some extra chems? And one thing led to another, and we opened up just one day a week, and just had people come by to pick things up, and that quickly turned into 2 days, 3 days, and then we're open 5 days a week now. So we've been doing this for about 3.5 years now. I really enjoy it. I enjoy working with a lot of the washers around us. Being in Houston, we have a huge market, so there's a lot of people here locally, and we get to work with them every day and help them keep their business running, and that's really why we do it. So we do ship all over the country, and we can get to pretty much anywhere across the country, whether it be for bills or supplies, but we really specialize in our local customers and really taking care of them here. We're also looking forward to the Panhandle Expo out in November. We're going to be bringing out some rigs that we are working on now that we're going to show off there. It'd be a great example of the kind of work that we can do. We're going to bring out some of our unique supplies that we offer that only we can bring to the table there, and then just kind of enjoying showing off the soft wash systems, the rigs, things like that. And as you mentioned, we're going to be doing a class this year, which we're kind of adding to the deck. We're going to be doing a class on soft wash, and going all the way from, starting out with your downstreamers and X-jets, going all the way up to, your large soft wash systems and everything in between. So really giving a general overview of how you can progress through that and what it adds to your business if you're not already doing soft wash.
Now, are you
Well, you-
going to go over the largest question, the biggest or the most asked question we have is the metering valve. Are you going to go over that? Is like, what I need this percentage, what do I need to put? I'm like, there's so many variables. I mean, if you've got a 5.5 or, well, not 5, soft wash, sorry, but if you've got a 12 volt and you've got the metering valve for that, or you've got a P40, or you got an AR45, or you got a MoFlow, or you got your 24 volt, that's all going to be different, is it not?
Absolutely. And so that's really the biggest thing, whether you're downstream or you're on a gas powered system. It always comes down to, what are you spraying on this property, because your number one job is property protection. You don't want to do more harm than good when you're out there cleaning. And so really knowing what these chemicals do, what percentages that you need to spray, and we'll definitely be including all of that.
Shane came home, he's got the MoFlow, but he came home the other day and he said, this driveway was so bad, and I jumped out of the truck like Luke Nukem. I'm like, don't ever say that again. Don't ever say that. Do never call yourself that, ever. I don't care what you do, because I do not want you to refer to yourself as Luke Nukem. I mean,
Did he actually get the surface sprinter off the truck?
Yes. He's got a 10-gallon minute for something. But I'm like, do you know what I go around traveling and teaching, and you're coming home proud and called yourself Luke Nukem? I'm like, no, let's talk about this, honey.
I'm gonna have to remember that one. That's why I'm gonna put him in my phone. Luke Nukem.
Yeah, it's easy to go out there and kind of nuke everything, and really knowing what those percentages are and how to dial that in to get the results you want without going overboard. It really takes some finesse, but we have some tools that we can share that makes it easy, and we'll be sharing those during the class.
Because I honestly, not a soft wash. When I had my trailer, when I was able to use my trailer before everything that happened in my life in the last 2 years. I had a 12 volt that I used maybe twice a year, and that was either to fill up. Well, I used it to fill up a pump up, but on a building or anything, it was like, bad brick wall or stucco or something you can't hit with high pressure. I mean, you can hit the wall, but not the stucco. But that's all I downstreamed everything. I'm downstream, and people will call me and ask me questions about soft wash, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to blow smoke up your butt. I honestly have not had enough experience to help you with this, so I'll send you over to somebody that has. But I'm still learning. I'm learning all this metering valves. It's like algebra to me. I just, I batch mix. This is what I do. So I'm excited that you're teaching this class. If I can get away, I'm going to come and stand there and listen to it, because I need this knowledge to help the customers and help fellow contractors when they come to me. It's like, hey, look at this! I bought your soap. How do I do it? What do I set it on? What do I do? So I'm excited your class is here, because a lot of people like me have no clue. Like, no clue. I mean, 20 years in the industry, I have no idea about this little thing that popped up.
And it's becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, 100%.
Customers are starting to ask for it. They may not know a lot of the technical details about what we do, but they are starting to hear about soft wash. They're hearing that it's better for their property. They may not know what it is, but they know to ask for it. And so being able to offer it is a huge benefit to your business. And like you said, that, getting the right proportions is really the biggest part about soft washing. Outside of that, the equipment, knowing how to use it, maintain it, those things are important, but getting that right proportion is the best. And it's not always just bleach. We do have a lot of other chemicals that are specialty chemicals that have very specific jobs, and we'll be going over those as well, and when it's appropriate to use those instead of bleach.
And what not to mix together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's put some rust remover down and then put chlorine on top of it. Yes.
Right.
Yep. Mushroom. I mean, I
Hey,
said this
you
the
get the
other day.
rust up.
Do what?
You get everything up.
Yeah. Shane was, I was doing the treatment, the irrigation staining. I was doing that, and I started on one side and Shane started on the other, and I already got started. So when we discussed it, like, he was going to rinse after me and then wash, but he didn't. So he'd already sprayed this, thinking I was going to go that way. And I was all happy, and I don't know why I couldn't smell it, just because I'm spraying acid, and I've smelled chlorine for 16 years straight, so it's just normal. Got my little sticker that says chlorine's my perfume, because it is. And I sprayed that on there. I like to have died. I dropped the pump up. I'm holding my chest. I am coughing. I thought I would have to go to the hospital. It was
Absolutely.
that bad.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of chemicals that people use that should not be used together.
Degreaser and bleach are the same way.
I hear people putting degreaser in their batch mix all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're using, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of degreasers out there and a lot of different formulas, but
Yeah.
I know specifically the one that we use, they do not mix.
No.
They create a nice form of mustard gas.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big advocate of this. We had insurance. Connie Phillips was on here, and it was AC was on here, and we were talking about chemicals. And AC, he's in Florida, and they had OSHA. If they pull you over and you've got chemicals on your vehicle that are not intended for what we do, that's a fine. So if you got dish soap, you got what do they use, that LA Awesome, any of those chemicals, you get pulled over and you're using products that are not designed for what you're using them for, they will fine you.
Yeah,
And
but they
also
good. They got to prove you're not using them. That you're using them for that. They can't prove that.
Well, if you're,
I mean, I may
OSHA
be going to wash my grandma's dishes, and I got the darn dishwashing soap with me.
Well, OSHA doesn't come unless you're on the job. They want to catch you. They're not going to pull you over on the side of the road and look at your trailer.
We have to that point. We have people asking every day about if we sell bulk, raw chemicals. Whether it be sodium hydroxide or some of the others that are out there. We don't offer them. It's not that we don't think anybody should use them, but
Yeah.
for the majority of our customers, the best thing for their business is to have a chemical that is made for that use,
Yeah.
that has proper directions for them and for their employees, more importantly. And having those things along with SDS sheets and having instructions, this is all for your business and protecting your business
Yeah.
when you're out there applying it to people's property. And when it comes to your insurance, that's the first thing they're going to ask is, what were you using? What, you know, how did you use it? How did you learn how to use that? What are the methods that you use, and why were you doing it that way? And if you're just out there playing chemist in the field, mixing things up, it's not a very good case for you. Whereas if you have a product that's made for this, you have the SDS sheets, you have the instructions, it's a lot better for your business.
So I was telling a story a few podcasts ago that I had a contractor come in and he washed a house and he didn't know, but he burnt the neighbor's bushes. The neighbor, whose bushes, called the EPA. EPA went to that contractor. He asked where he bought the chlorine. Then they came to me and they inspected everything I had. And, we were legit. We have no issues. But it's crazy. Just something like burning bushes, the government gets involved, just because some Karen called and, threw a fit.
EPA
But,
pull up.
just-
I bet Trudy had a fit. What? Everything I missed.
So no, I looked into it because I heard that we had to provide placards for chlorine, and I'm like, I've never heard this. So, I was on it for like 3 days. I'm calling EPA, I'm calling OSHA, I'm calling, my county office, I'm calling my supplier, I'm calling everyone. I'm like, what is it? What do I need to do? Because I want to be compliant.
Right.
For a burnt bush, I don't want my company shut down.
Absolutely.
It's a mom and pop store. We don't have corporate money. It's
Right.
it's what it is, and you have to keep putting the money back into the business so you don't see a
Absolutely.
profit for years. Because
Absolutely.
What come about you have-
you pay your employees. That's it.
What come about you having to supply the placards?
It is, you have to have placards if you are refilling or filling the 2.5 gallon totes. Anything that's not standard on your truck or trailer, like if it's not secured on there and your bulk, if it's not, you have to go through the EPA, you have to get placards, you have to give them a sheet every time they fill up, you have to have stickers, it's a whole thing. So that's why we don't have those little yellow buckets of 2.5, because in Florida, you have to go through a whole rigmarole of crap with the government just to do that. And I'm like, no, I'm good. You just bring your truck with your big old tank and fill it up and go wash, it's fine.
Right.
But anyway,
So,
South Wash,
Y'all,
where we're at. So your 25 volt, look at me, I'm adding one, but your 24 volt system. I know
Right.
a lot of guys use that. A lot of guys are interested in it. You know what I mean? When I soft wash, it was a pump up and a garden hose. That's how we soft wash back when I started. And then we moved.
Telling
up,
how
you
old
know,
you are
to
there,
12
Tree.
volt. But Anthony, I can barely hear you.
you telling how old you are.
I am, I know.
Well, don't feel bad. I can barely hear
earned
you.
The gray hair and the wrinkles.
Well, it's amazing how fast the industry has evolved, and it's changing all the time. So,
Yeah.
12 volt, when we started out, that was really not the only thing to use, but it was the standard thing to use.
Yeah.
And we started off that way, and it still serves us well. We still have rigs with 12 volt on them, and we still install them every day. It's a very affordable solution, and it's very simple. And it's easy to keep spare parts around for. So, they still have a big place for us, but we have, as you know, we showed off the 24 volt Zeus last year. We're continuing to promote that platform and install those on a regular basis. And we do have a lot of information to share on that. They are very particular about how they're installed and how you plumb them, and so we're definitely gearing up to share all that information in that class. And the great thing about that is it gives you a hybrid solution between your 12 volt and your gas powered systems. A lot of people enjoy the on-demand capabilities of the 12 volt, but they just need more power. It's just not doing enough for them. Either they want to be able to rinse with it as well, or they also want to be able to just apply more chemical more efficiently. That would be a great case for the gas powered systems. But if you have a gas powered system and you're not spraying constantly, it's a little harder to use. You know, you have to make sure you manage that time off the trigger, make sure you're turning off the machine, you know, to not overheat it and things like that. So you really need to, I usually tell people, if you're doing commercial jobs, really big jobs or big homes, you know, those gas powered systems are great because you can get on the trigger and spray and you can cover a lot of ground very fast. However, if you're not doing that all the time, that 24 volt system is a perfect in between for those. You get the power. It's like 80% of the power of the gas powered system, but you get that on demand capability of the 12 volt. And so it's really the best of both worlds.
How far would that Zeus pump shoot?
We're getting about 55, 60 feet on average. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little less, depending on their setup. And that's with the 200 feet of 3/4 hose and with a water boss gun.
Cool.
And you're getting about, it's rated at 14 gallons a minute. What you're really seeing is about 9 to 11, depending on how you're squeezing that trigger. But 9 to 11 at about 110 psi. So again, all those stats are just right under the gas-powered systems, but then you still have that on-demand capability. The moment you let off the trigger, it turns off. You can let it sit there for as long as you need to, then come back to spraying, and you're good to go.
That's the way I got a VI powered on my trailer, and that's what it does. It cuts off when you're off the trigger. I love that about it.
Yes.
The customer come out and want to talk to you. I mean, you can just then gotta say, "Hey, hold on, let me go turn my machine off before it blows up."
Is that's the VI powered P40, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Have you liked that? How long have you had it?
Couple months, probably. Enjoy it. I like it. It's good pump. I mean, everything's got its place, and I'm still doing content on it. Still trying to figure out how long the battery's going to last and all this stuff, because people's wanting to buy. They buy the system, they want 3 or 4 batteries to go with it because they don't think they're going to be able to wash all day with one battery. I mean, because if you sit there on the trigger, you got 90 minutes.
Right.
90 minute complete. That's start to finish 90 minutes sitting there holding the trigger for your battery. But you're not going to sit there for 90 minutes.
No. I
mean, how long is it going to take you to wash a house?
Especially with that P40, you can code a lot of stuff very fast.
You rocking and rolling. I mean, you cover a lot of ground. I mean,
for most people, that's going to give them all day washing.
Right. That's what I was telling Pete today. He asked me about it. He called me and asked me questions about it. And I said, man, we wash, a couple houses a day or whatever. We'll go out at night. We wash McDonald's. I wash the building with it. Don't charge it in between, because we just bring the trailer home, let it sit in the yard, and get up the next day and probably go wash a house with it. I mean, but in the heat, I think sitting out in the heat kind of drains the battery a little bit.
Right.
More because, 110 degrees heat index. I mean, it's going to drain some, and then it's going to be a big portion of the part that you're going to have to.
And that's a specialized battery, right?
Batteries to wash 8 hours or 9 hours. There ain't no way.
Right. We've got a couple of those. Those are specialized batteries. They're 56 volt, right?
Yeah. It's big old battery.
Yeah, and they're specialized for that platform. And we're really watching that. We've done it a couple of those rigs. I really like them. We're kind of watching them to see the price come down some, and really get a little bit more approachable. And as we figure out the battery thing as well, and what it really takes to keep that all day. But I think that's really kind of the future of where things are going. Having that true P40 power with a battery platform, that it's going to be a great combination.
I say you could put a small generator on your trailer or your truck,
right?
And just hook it to it between jobs or whatever, and keep your battery charged up pretty much all day. But I ain't had to do it yet. But
Right. And that's what most people are finding, that even with one battery, you're still not needing to, um, you're still able to wash all day without having to charge.
you know, it's got the distance and everything. I mean, that 2,500 RPMs, it hit the 50 foot easy.
Right.
And then that's about what the gas probably runs, 2,500 RPMs, somewhere between 22 and 2,500. So that's why I got it set at. And then I cranked it up and it got about another 10, 15 foot out of it. So it's right there. It's right there with you, Zeus boy.
Yeah. And you're putting about 11 gallons in it on target. Yeah. That's good.
We'll put them side by side in November.
Oh, absolutely. That'd be great.
Yeah, we're having some shootouts, that's for sure. I love the shootouts.
Oh, hey, we just got to compare. I mean, that's all it is. We're just big kids having fun. Is all we're doing.
I know. Big
And
boys with expensive toys.
Yeah, that's
It's a
all
lot
we
of fun.
are.
It helps people make decisions too.
It
Yeah.
does. Just putting hands, that's what, we love about the Panhandle Expo is we get the suppliers and the manufacturers in there. And it's not a big selling, not everybody's selling everything in the showroom. It is all about information and education and showing the difference. And I mean, you're out there showing soft wash and stuff that you don't sell or you don't make. You're showing, you're educating and giving them information about so they can make the informed decision
Absolutely.
on the product, because we're not all the same. We don't all like the same trigger guns. We don't all like the same long lances. Some people rinse with a ball valve. I would never do that. I have, because my wand was up the dang trailer and I forgot it, and I'm like, oh no, it's gonna dry. So I did it on accident. But for me, that's not what I like to do. It's not wrong. It's just different. But speaking about the expo, how was that food?
Oh, that was great last year.
Wasn't it so? Yeah.
Well, she just
Yeah.
swapped gears on us, didn't she? She
Yeah.
went from drinks to the food.
I don't like food, and I ate a lot. I ate a
Yeah.
lot. I needed to
Definitely.
eat more
And being
after
able
the
to meet with
mimosa
different
thing.
people. I love the setup that you had there because we were able to meet with different people during lunch and really network with a good variety of people and get away from the show floor and just have a more relaxed atmosphere. So it really
And
helps there.
the networking and just talking and talking with the manufacturers and everything, talking with each other. You learn from each other, and me being an end user and a vendor, when I get in front of the manufacturer or my supplier, I can tell them, like, hey, I don't like this about your product because this, I can't sell it because I'm not going to lie to my customer because I'm also using it out in the field. So they like that because, I'm an end user on top of, supplying my fellow contractors. And, sometimes I've been looked at funny, like, excuse me, and I'm like, hey, you want the truth? Here's the truth. If you can't handle the truth, I'm sorry, but this is what it is. I'm telling you why I can't sell your product as much as your competitor's product, because this is what's wrong with yours. So that's what I like about it. You get to talk to people and sit there, and it's like a family reunion is what I say. It's like it's not all of us talking business. We are, but it's more of a family reunion. It's like, hey, how are you doing? We see people, we meet them for the first time. We find mentors or a mentoree and see people or meet them that we've only seen on Facebook,
Absolutely.
and to me, that's awesome. I love it. I love getting to know these people personally after talking to them online for a year or something. It's amazing.
And you never know who you're going to sit down at the table with.
No, you don't.
You never know who's going to walk up and say, hey, Anthony, hey, where you at? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, there's so many people know me now that it's unreal. I'm like, well, thank you, Trudy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I love it. I enjoy giving back because, like I said, when we started 20 some years ago, there was nothing like we have now. Nothing.
Right.
It has totally changed the game. Everything's just, whew. And it's hard especially at my age when I'm, I'm not all into this. I'm on Facebook, but I don't go in on all these TikToks or all the, YouTube stuff. I don't do a lot of that. I'll have time to here next week, so I'll catch up on it. I'll learn a lot next week. But I don't like to do that. I like to put my hands on it. I like to try it. I like to play with it. I like to shoot the water. I like to do all the things before I sell it. I tell people everything in my warehouse would use out in the field. And, Carlos reached out and Andy Vickers reached out. It's like, hey, do you want to carry my product? I'm like, send me some. I'm going to try it. If I don't like it and it doesn't work, I'm not selling it. And because I'm an end user as well. So, I'm not going to set people up for failure. It makes no sense. But you get to meet those people at these events and the expos. And I feel like the Panhandle is more laid back and more relaxed than the other ones that I've been to. Not they're bad, they're good. It's a great experience. I love going to all of them. But I made mine more like a family reunion. It's like, hey, we're having a washers reunion. Let's all get together. Let's break bread. Let's eat. Let's talk. Let's meet each other and learn from each other. And that's why we wanted to do this. Is contractors giving back to contractors. And I'm excited.
That's exactly why we wanted to be involved with this event. We really, not only have we, doubled down on the Panhandle Expo and tried to support it the best way we can, but we've really pulled out of a lot of the other events because, we weren't really seeing that connection there. There were a lot of vendors there, showing off a lot of random products. A lot of them started to not even have anything to do with pressure washing. They were kind of auxiliary, things that you could do in the off season. And what I find is our customers around here, and I think this is the same for Florida, like we don't really have an off season. We're not doing a lot of, Christmas lights and, snow shoveling and those things. Like we're washing year round, and when they're not washing, they get a little bit of downtime to maintain their equipment and get ready for the next season. But it's really not a lot. And so we're focused on pressure washing. We don't do all those other things. And so at those other events, we were finding that not only did we not make those great connections, but it was just a lot of auxiliary stuff that wasn't interesting to us. And so, at Panhandle, there's a charm there that's you don't find at those other events. It's closer, it's intimate. There's a lot of there's washers there only really, and you get to meet a lot of other people that are doing exactly what you're doing. And so that's why we doubled down this year, and we're really excited to be a part of it.
Well, thank you for sharing your knowledge as well on soft wash. It's been like I said, a huge topic this year because it keeps changing and growing and new things. The MoFlow, the low flow, the battery operated. It's the VPAC. It's crazy. By you blink and there's something new out. It's like, oh goodness, this is crazy.
And that's why there's no sense in all the information we have. We tell our customers this all the time. They come in. We do build equipment, and we will gladly build something for people. But we're huge on DIY, and any information we have on building this equipment and maintaining it, and using it, we share it everything we can because one, that's the only way we're all going to grow together. But also, this stuff is a bit evolving and changing so fast. If you're not out there getting that information out, it's all going to change, a few months down the road anyway. And so, we have to continue to evolve as an industry. We're finally getting to the point where we're having pumps and things that are made specifically for us instead of using, agricultural pumps or other things that have served us well. They're now starting to cater to this industry. And that's a really exciting time. And I think we're going to continue to see things change where, we think that what we have right now is great. And we're going to look back and wonder how we did without this new thing that's coming out. And it's just going to continue to go that way. So we got to stay on top of it.
So when did the soft wash actually come out? And was it a 12 volt?
A pump up and a garden hose. I've already told you.
Not before, after that, Trudy.
12 volt.
Yeah.
And so what was the next thing was probably what the AR?
I mean, a lot of people have a really, we have a really loose definition of soft wash. We kind of lump in downstreaming and soft washing, downstreaming and I'm sorry, like X jetting, stuff like that with our soft wash because you're typically tipping those things big enough to where you're not using really high pressure and you're starting to apply chemical. And so, at least in our store, when we talk about soft wash, we kind of start people out there. Here's downstreaming and here's how you can use that. It's a very effective system for not a lot of buy-in if you already have a pressure washer. And then we kind of lead them on to, X jetting because they can kind of take their business a little bit further with that. And then we get into the 12 volt systems and then the ARs and, some of the gas powered systems or the 24 volt systems. And it kind of evolves with them. But there's a lot that you can do, with those starting systems, the downstreaming and X jetting. A lot of people kind of write them off after they move past that. But we have to remember that some of these guys are starting off, they have a very low budget and they need to get out and, clean more projects so that they can make more money for their business so they can grow. And it's a really good tool for them.
On my trailer that I had a 12 volt on, we put a gas one on we did the AR45 with a CRX motor because we were working with CRX. They wanted to bring their motors in. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to put one on my truck or trailer. I'm going to try it. We're going to run it. And it worked great. But I left that 12 volt on there because you always need a backup. If it's not broken, we have little ball valves, so it goes from the 12 volt to the AR, and metering valve the same way. And it looked like a fire truck with all these little knobs and things. But what we use out in the field is very corrosive. I mean, and you can rinse out, you can neutralize, you can do all this stuff you can do, but it's still going to break. It's not like, okay, this machine's going to last 1 year, 6 months, and 3 days. It's not like that. Everybody's equipment's different. Everybody takes care of their equipment different. People live in New York. People live in Florida. People live in Oregon. They're all different environments that this equipment goes through. So to have a backup is necessary in our industry. And
I think that's one of the reasons.
Just keep that 12 volt.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons the 12 volt system is so popular. Not only can it be a backup to a larger system, but also when you are running a 12 volt system, for under $500, you can carry a full spare pump and spare parts for it, and you can get up and running within about 10 minutes of a failure. And there's not a lot of other systems that you can do that with.
True. Very true. I mean, you've got manifolds that break on your AR and your P40s and your gas roof pumps, and they're not cheap. You get a couple of those in there, you're already at a new 12 volt.
Yeah, and that's going to involve a repair. You maybe could do it in the field, but in reality, you're probably going to bring that into a shop like us or bring it back to your own garage. You're going to do that replacement and then have to go back out. There's not a lot of systems where you can just, carry a spare pump and just really swap it out literally in about 10 minutes or less and be back up and running. And so it's one of the huge benefits of 12 volt. And I think it's kind of overlooked.
So I'm trying to think. We've been over so much. So this is your second year at the expo.
Correct.
And this would be is this our 7th or 8th?
7.
7th. This is I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, 7th expo. We did 2 in 1 year because I'm crazy. I don't know what I think. I'm nuts. No, I wanted to move it. I had it in February, but we thought November would be better. It's a lot slower for a lot of people. People aren't worn out from the holidays and all the weather and everything, but I think it's better, if you want to buy new equipment that you see, you've got the tax write-off still available, it's and you've got time between November and when you start in the spring, especially people up north, to build up your equipment and work on it. You go in February and then it's April. It's like you haven't built it up and you haven't got it ready. So I thought February was a good one. So I had it in February and then November. That was the longest way to say that in my life. So that is why we moved, and why we had 2 in a row. And so anyway, I'm glad you're back for one. And what did you, I mean, you kind of went around, the expo itself and, what you thought about it. And, I'm glad that's what you've seen, because that is what I had in my heart to do. And that's what I wanted to bring to fellow contractors. So, thank you for, saying what you said. I know it wasn't scripted. We didn't tell you to say that, but, I appreciate the feedback on the expo, and we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep educating, and we're going to keep, making it more beneficial for the contractors.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be investing. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a business for all of us, and we wouldn't be investing in the expo if we didn't believe in it. There really is a different feel there, and we've told everybody, even from out here in Houston, it's not that far for us. We've been telling everybody they need to get out there, and the fact that you put it on as a free event, at least to get in the door. I know there's some extra things they can do with classes and the VIPs and stuff like that, but to be able to get in the door, especially for somebody just starting out, it's invaluable to be able to do that. And their first year, they're going to just soak up a bunch of knowledge. But like you said, after that, it just becomes a family reunion.
Yeah.
They can come out every year and really see everybody, and see all the people they used to know, and then meet a bunch more people. So it really has a great feel to it. Even if you've been burnt by other events, or maybe didn't feel that you got the value out of it, this is a different environment, and I would really encourage people to come out.
And even if you've been in the industry a long time, like this AI
Absolutely.
class, they're going to have you. I mean, I haven't messed with
Yeah.
AI for my business. I don't even know. I mean, I tried to make an AI cartoon of myself, and I looked like I was 3 foot tall and 300 pounds. I don't know what happened. It was horrible, but I
Yeah.
tried. I get accused of using AI all the time. I'm like, proof? I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. But they're going to have you open the app and guide you, and from start to finish on here, this is what you do, and this is how you can use it to benefit your business. So that's something that people that's been in, I want to learn, because
Absolutely.
obviously I don't want to be that cartoon character and not know what I'm doing. I want to learn. I want to keep growing my business and moving forward, because we're not going back. We're not going back to the pump up in the garden hose. That's not going to happen. So we're not going back to, I mean, people are still door knocking, but we're not going back to the forums where you read everything. We're not going back to that. That is things in the past. We are moving forward, and it's technology. It is
Right.
equipment that is changing everything. Good. Did you ever think when you started? I don't think there were drones when you started washing. Anthony, there
Oh, no.
wasn't drones when you were washing, right? And now we got
What?
drones washing.
Oh.
Who would have thought? I thought,
Yeah.
okay, the Jetsons would have had drones to wash their houses, but not here. Not this day and age. But it just keeps changing and growing, and we have to adapt, or we're gonna fail.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
the drone washing is really crazy. We're starting to see more and more people using that. And I'll be honest, when I first saw them, I thought it was just a convenience, maybe for window washing or something like that. But once you start getting into it and really talking to the people that are using them, and as we've built some solutions for people, you know, hearing the unique projects they're doing that you really could not do any other way, or if you did, it would be very expensive. And um, now that they can use these drones, and that's just one area of our field that's
Yeah.
evolving. You were talking about the VI powered system earlier. We have drones, we have the way that soft wash is progressing. Really, it's evolving in so many different ways, and that's just on the technical side of it. As you mentioned with the business, AI and the different ways that we're marketing now. You really have to keep up with all of that a business operator, and that's really why events like this are great.
I mean, we're switching our whole website, our whole shipping platform, our whole everything, and right now to me is a disaster. I'm stressed out. I'm losing my mind. Going, where is everything that was here before? But then I got to step back and breathe and go, okay, I'll make a post. Be patient. We're upgrading. And to upgrade, there's going to be problems. There's going to be glitches. There's going to be little twerks and tweaks you got to work out. And I've been, I mean, you're going to ask Anthony, he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I got to breathe. My head's going to blow up right now. I can't do this. It's like, just breathe. And it's like, are you okay? I haven't heard from you. I'm doing this, and this is wrong, this is wrong. He's like, breathe, calm down. Just, it'll be fine. I'm just like, oh.
Because us three, we're usually, from the time we get up, we're usually, I mean, it's 100 messages a day.
Yeah,
I mean,
but we got
for this show and everything, it's crazy. But I've been to different shows and stuff, and I'm not going to point fingers at no show. I'm not going to talk down on no show because all of them have their place.
Mm-hmm.
They all have their purpose. But you go to the Panhandle, you get in free. You get in you got speakers that come in, classes that's going to be taught. That's free. And then you go to some of these other shows and you pay $200-300 to get in just to get in the door. And then you go down these hallways and they got all these classrooms set up and you got to pay to get in each one of them classrooms. So your best thing is to be at the Panhandle Expo in November.
But if you've got you and you've got 4 employees that you want them to get trained, that's a lot of money. And we try to keep it free.
I mean, you can spend $10,000 anywhere else for 4 or 5 people. By the time you get them in and feed them, room them, and pay for their classes and everything, I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, you could dump some money.
And a lot of these places that these hotels, these events are at, are $400 or $500 a night for a room.
We go
winter in Florida. Ours are. I think John Tornabene got his 12-story beachfront condo. I think he said it was like $125 or $175 a night.
I think that's what ours is.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
like
just like, and you're on the beach, and you've got a pool, and you've got the amenities. It's crazy. But it's for what you get. I mean, if you know what I'm going to say, come once, and what do you say? You've been Panhandle baptized. Yeah, once you come in and you've been.
We're gonna have to get a Dunkin' booth. It's not really baptized people.
With chlorine. Oh no, we can't do that. Just kidding. We can't do it chlorine. Surfactant. We baptize them with Panhandle surfactant. They'll be all soapy everywhere. It'll be like a foam party at the end of the day. Anyway, so anyway, the expo itself, you're coming with the booth because it's a Panhandle Expo. There's no other vendor. So one vendor show is just Panhandle and my suppliers, which you are a supplier of Panhandle. So that's why you're there. So if there's any people like, I thought it was just a Panhandle show, one vendor, it is a one vendor show, but we support those that support us, and we support you by buying your stuff, and you support us by coming. And I think you've got tanks from us or whatever, so it's a thing. But we do buy supplies from you, and that's why Freedom Wash is there. And it's going. We tried having other vendors, which was great. It wasn't a problem. For me personally, I think it took more away from the education, the information. It started turning more into a home show, or other people selling, and I don't want it about. So we're going to have stuff there to sell, obviously, as so our suppliers are going to be there with their items, but you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it to come in. We have it if you want it. We've got to recoup our money from the venue and all that, and the bills and everything else we do. But if we don't sell it, it's not a big thing. We're not going to not do it because our focus is the information, the education, and bringing the contractors in front of the suppliers and the manufacturers.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, to put this thing on. I mean, I don't know if people just think we just go and boom, there it is. I mean, we took, after last year, we probably waited to January and then started. This is how we started putting our heads together and start figuring out who we want in there, who we's going to get to come, who we going to get to speak, and everything. So it's a year long thing, production, to get this thing together, and then the venue is such an awesome place, and these people do a remarkable job for us.
They do.
Anything we need, questions we have that need to be asked, there's Johnny on the spot. If we need tables or we need anything else, they're always right there, to help us to get whatever we need to get done. And that's a big help to us, because without them, we couldn't put on the event that we put on for everybody. And it's an honor and it's a blessing to be a part of it. And I got drug into this thing.
You got baptized.
She just grabbed me by the hair of my head. She coming with me.
I don't even think I can reach the hair on his head.
But it's really been a blessing. I've learned a lot of stuff from this lady, and she's been with me from just about from day one. I mean, she'll go the extra mile to help anybody and give you the right content you need to make your business successful. And there's been times where I know she's probably wanted to throw stuff at me through the phone, but it's all good. But there was a time where I needed some stuff, and I was like, "Hey, look, I'm just gonna put it out there. I had a job to do, and we was gonna do this big office building in Montgomery, and I needed some Flow Pros because I didn't want to walk around the block to get back to the truck and turn everything off." And she said, "Shayna, kill me." And I said, "I'm getting paid when I leave this job. As soon as I get home, if I have to, I'll bring it to you." And, and that started a friendship and a relationship and a partnership where that is just outstands anything. I mean, the woman's been good to me, and she's good to everybody. I mean, to put this event on, guys, is kind of what I'm trying to say, is she goes above and beyond everything. Her heart bleeds this industry. This industry is her life. And I don't know what's going to happen if something ever happens to her.
Well, I made it. I survived last year.
Barely.
I'm working on surviving this year. So, and you leave my chickens alone. I gave you a chicken. I sent you a chicken berry. And it makes noise and everything. And I got 6 baby chicks. Oh, they're so cute. I'll send you a picture. Anyway, he keeps
Yeah, he'd been wanting one of her chickens, and I told her, I said, "You just need to order him a chicken and send it to him." So she did. What's up, Barry?
Oh, he's a nightmare. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's a family, this industry. I watched 16 years full time pulling a 16-foot trailer because I'm too short to get in the back of a skid, and as soon as I started falling apart, I wanted to stay in the industry. I opened Panhandle and started being, educating people, and the paint issue fell in our lap, and I started investigating that. And then when I opened Panhandle, I was able to travel and help educate people with that, which is great. And it's just giving back, it's giving back. And that's another thing about Panhandle is it's contractors giving back to contractors. We're not paying them. They volunteer, they come voluntarily. Nobody gets paid, which is amazing. That should boost people like wanting to come. Support these people that are doing this for you. They don't ask anything from you. They just helping you learn. Because when we leave the industry, we want to leave it in better hands. We want to leave it with better equipment, better tools, better chemicals, better knowledge. And we don't want you to go out there and OSHA pull you down and you're fined $50,000 because you didn't know. If you knew and you still did it, then that's on you. I'm sorry, but if you didn't know, that's what you learn. But it's been rough, for me. I don't think I've missed a beat. I think I wish everybody a happy birthday every single morning that pops up on my phone. I wish them. And I'll continue to do that. I don't do it for anything. And I know Anthony, he donates all his time for the Panhandle Expo. And Alana, she does so much that nobody knows about in the back end. Last year,
We'll
I
talk
was
about
down
her
for
here in a
quite a
minute.
while.
We'll be on her for the rest of the night.
I mean, I was down a lot last year due to a car accident, and I could not have this expo would not happen if it wasn't for those two guys that helped me. I should say I helped them, because at one point I don't think I was getting off the couch, so I was just, it was that bad. I got forced off the couch by somebody, and it brought me back to where I needed to be to help the other contractors. And I'm not getting dust in my eyes.
How'd that work out for you?
I am, because, okay, Monday morning I am going in for another major surgery because they didn't fix me after the car accident. I've been in pain. I can't lift my arm. This is it. Since May 3rd. And because of all the neglect and now all the damage that's been done, I have to have a complete shoulder replacement. I'm gonna have a metal ball and a metal rod going down my little arm bone. So it's I'm probably gonna be in a sling for about 6 weeks. It's 6 to 12 months recovery time. But as soon as I'm not on drugs and I'm loopy anymore, I'll be back at it. So if you guys get a weird Facebook message from me, just, it's the drugs, it's not me. But the reason I'm getting to with the Panhandle Expo is love, it's family. And everybody that comes in, it's not a stranger, even if you haven't met them. And I know you felt this last year. It's just so many people just eager and wanting to learn and grow with each other. And I couldn't ask for a better team than these two. I know the other events have probably 30, 40 people putting on an event. It's just us three. And they both worked their butt off, and I more so last year than any other year, but you know, I appreciate it. But that's what makes it special. You know, it makes it very special, and it's special people like you that come and share what you know and give out the information. So it just turned into a Jerry Springer thing, I think, or Oprah, I don't know.
No.
But
Here,
We know the difference, and we really need to get that across to people. You can feel the difference when you're there, and that's, like I said, that's the reason we're involved with this. You know, I tell our customers that all the time when they come into our store. You know, we have to sell things. We have to, you know, do builds and sell the equipment. That's what lets us keep the lights on and keep our store operating. But at the end of the day, you know, we're here to help them stay in business and help them grow their business. And you get that same feeling when you're at the Panhandle Expo. So, you know, that's why it aligns so well with us, and that's why we enjoy being a part of it. So it definitely comes across. All you have to do is get out there.
yeah, 100%. And I saw somebody asked where to get this part today on Facebook. Just seen it before we started. And somebody said, don't buy from an overpriced power wash store supplier. You know, get it on Amazon and get this. And I'm just sitting there going, but when your stuff breaks down and you need diagnosing, who do you call? Do you call Amazon for this?
No.
It's like, you know, it costs a lot to run a business. It costs a lot to pay employees. It costs a lot to rent a place and put the lights on, and the insurance and the taxes, and to fill the store with merchandise you need. It takes a lot to do that. So, you know, when I read stuff like that from a fellow contractor, it kind of hurts. And I never say anything because, you know, everybody can buy where they want. But, you know, when you sit and think about it, when you're 24 volts down, or you're 12 volts down, or something's wrong with your P40, or your, you know, IGX 800, who are you calling? Are you calling the cheap place, or are you calling a power wash supply store? You know,
Our biggest expense outside of keeping stuff on the shelf, the actual product, our biggest expense is our phone help. We are on the phone nonstop, and I know y'all are the same way. We're on the phone nonstop, giving out free advice, free help, really anything that they need. And that's what, like you said, you're not going to get that from Amazon or some other place. And I think a lot of people don't realize too, and you hit on this earlier, there's a lot of our stores that are supporting each other behind the scenes that I don't think people realize.
No.
You know, everybody has their thing that they bring to the market. You know, You've done an incredible job with the tanks that you provide and some of the other supplies that you do. We're not going to reinvent the wheel and do that. We carry your tanks. We do the same thing with other suppliers, whether it be Hilo or North Georgia Airless. Um, I can, I'm blanking on some of the names here, but there's people all across the country that we use supplies from them, and that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of people don't realize it because people say, "Oh, I'm going to buy it only from y'all. I don't visit these other places." If you can get it from where you need to get it for your business, do it. We're here to help you. Hopefully, we're a good solution for you, but it's not. I mean, yes, we're all in business. Yes, we all have to stay in business and make some money to do that. But it's not that type of competition. It's a friendly competition and a supportive competition.
It is, and I tell people all the time, like I just today while we were setting up, somebody asked for a part I don't carry. I found it for him. I sent him the link. I said, here, this is what you need, and it's like, oh, can you send it tomorrow? I said, oh no, I sent you the link. It's like, it's not yours. I'm like, no, I don't have it, so I found it for you, and I send people like, I don't have this, call North Georgia. I don't have this, call Freedom Walk. I don't have, where are you located? Who's the closest to you? I
Right.
look where they're at and find out. And same way with contractors, you work together, you get more accomplished than if you're trying to work against each other. With us working together and other stores working together, the contractor's taken care of. And that's our main goal. That's why we opened it, like you said, to keep them working. So
Absolutely.
it makes a difference when you have a team, even if they're in the background that you don't know. I love sending people. If I don't have it, I'm not going to make them wait a month or a week until it's on order. It'll be here in 4 days. If you need it now, I'll find it for you. If it's not urgent, they'll say, no, I'll just wait. But if it is, I'll call around. I won't make them do it. I'll call around because it was my fault. My inventory was off. I felt guilty that our system's
Absolutely.
in limbo right now and everything's in shambles. But, to do that for each other makes the industry a better place on both sides, vendors and contractors.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, it's that time.
It
It's
is.
been,
So you
it's
want
been an
to,
hour already.
I know that was good. It's going quicker and quicker. Or I think I'm getting older and older and time just, anyway. But anyway, if you want to close us out and remind them what you're doing at the expo, and it's November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Oh, and a platinum sponsor. Look at this big roller right here. Look at that support. He's glowing.
Absolutely. Well, we wouldn't have done it if it wasn't a good event. So we're looking forward to it. We're going to have a lot to show off out there. We're bringing some rigs, both trucks and trailers. Again, to kind of show one example of how people build equipment, out this in the industry. We'll be doing the soft wash class. So definitely come out. We'd love to have you out there, and we look forward to meeting everybody.
Well, thank you for being with us, Chris.
Thank you.
Now,
I'm
guys,
sure
get
we'll
over
be for the event.
to the panhandleexpo.com. Get registered for the event. Remember, VIP tickets are $100 right now. That meals are included in that, which you get 3 meals, and that's $199.
Good
If you had to
meals.
pay for them separate, I'm gonna go get me a VIP badge right here in just a few minutes. So when we get off here, and but anyway, get over there, get ready for that event. If Trudy don't have it at Panhandle Power Wash Supply, she'll get it. She'll get it to you from Chris out at Freedom out in Texas. All of your apparel needs, get over to Dab Marketing. Check her out. She does Facebook posts for you. She runs all your advertisement, all of
She
that.
runs all this.
She runs all of this
All
stuff.
this.
So if you want to, get on the platform and go live and do some live stuff, she'll be more than glad to work on your back ends and stuff, and all of your pictures that pop up and all your content and stuff that you can put up there. She'll be more than glad to help you out with that. That's Dab Marketing, Alana Martinez. That's our sister behind the scenes. Guys, we look forward to seeing everybody in November. Chris, it was good to have you on here
One
tonight.
thing before we go, if you guys don't mind, please say a prayer Monday, 8:30 in the morning is when I get to go under. And I've been under a lot, so there's a lot of, my body's been through a lot. So if you don't mind saying a prayer for me, and I know I'll be feeling them while I'm there sleeping. So If
And
you,
we'll see the one-arm woman.
one arm, hey, it's gonna be bionic when I'm done. But thank you
Right.
guys.
Getting upgrades.
Where's our lady in the background?
Carolina.